custodian of the two holy mosques ordered to lift the curfew partially in all regions of the kingdom except Makkah and isolated districts. Riyadh, April 25, 2020. Based on the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud's care and keenness of the health and safety of citizens and expatriates, as well as what have been submitted by the relevant health authorities regarding the measures taken by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to confront the novel coronavirus for the possibility of implementing a partial curfew and the return of some economic activities in line with health instruction and with his desire to facilitate on citizens and expatriates. The king issued the following orders. First, lifting the curfew partially in all regions of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia from today, Sunday, April 26, 2020 until Wednesday, May 13, 2020 from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. While 24-hour curfew is kept in Makkah City and the isolated district announced in the previous decision and statement. Second, in addition to the excluded activities mentioned in the previous orders, some commercial and economic activities are allowed to reopen during the aforementioned period in the first provision starting from Wednesday, April 29, 2020 and until Wednesday, May 13, 2020 in the following fields. 1. Wholesale and retail trade stores. 2. Shopping centers. The royal order emphasized a continuation of preventing any activity in those centers that doesn't implement social distancing, including beauty clinic, barber salons, sport and health clubs, recreational centers, cinema, beauty salon, restaurants, cafe, and other activities determined by relevant authorities. Third, allowing the return of the construction company and factories to practice their activities without restrictions on time according to the nature of their work, starting from Wednesday, April 29, 2020 until Wednesday, May 13, 2020. Fourth, based on the instruction, precautionary and preventive measures approved by the Ministry of Health and the competent authorities. The authorities responsible for monitoring economic, commercial, and industrial activities must follow up the compliance with the precautionary and preventive measures in order to submit daily reports thereon. Fifth, continuation of applying measures of social distancing, including a prevention of gathering for social purposes for more than 5 people, such as wedding events, funerals, etc., as well as gathering in public places. 6. In a case of violating instruction and guidelines in this regard, the prescribed penalties in closing facilities will be imposed. 7. These procedures are subject to a continuous evaluation during the aforementioned period. The custodian of the two holy mosques also instructed the Ministry of Interior should coordinate with other competent authorities regarding any amendments to the procedure related to curfew required by the health developments. The royal order to the concerned authorities seeks to urge citizens, expatriates, and employers to assume responsibility and adhere to the precautionary and preventive measures in order to overcome this pandemic. Meanwhile, this the new report of the Saudi Gazette. This from Saudi Gazette. Saudi Arabia partially lifts curfew 24-hour lockdown to continue in Makkah. Custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman has issued an order to lift the curfew restriction partially across the kingdom starting from Sunday, April 26 until May 13, Saudi press agency reported early on Sunday. As per the royal order, the curfew has partially been lifted in all regions of the kingdom, allowing residents of all cities to go out between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m., except in Makkah, where a 24-hour curfew would continue to remain in force. The previously isolated neighborhoods will also continue to be under a complete lockdown, according to the report. The royal order allows the opening of some economic and commercial activities, which include wholesale and retail shops, in addition to malls. They can they can operate for 2 weeks beginning from Wednesday, April 29 until May 13. However, certain shops within malls like beauty parlors, barber salon, gyms, cinemas, and restaurants will continue to remain closed. The King's order was based on recommendation by relevant health authorities to enable the return of some economic activities as well as to relieve citizens and residents on the occasion of the holy month of Ramadan. Contracting companies and factories are also allowed to resume their activities without restriction on time, and that is in accordance with the nature of their businesses. The order has instructed authorities responsible for monitoring economic, commercial, and industrial activities to ensure that the precautionary measure and preventive measure approved by the Ministry of Health and other competent authorities are complied with. The security agency are also instructed to ensure that social distancing is observed at all times and that social gathering involving more than 5 people, such as wedding, wedding events, condolence ceremonies, and parties shall continue to remain banned. The order reminded the public that the prescribed penalties will be imposed on the violators, and the firms which violate the regulations instruction will be closed down in accordance with the procedures.